من ساو باولو بحييكم، وتحديدا من قدام متحف إبيرانجا. اليوم رح نتعرف بحلقتنا على بازيليو جافت، ابن عائلة عريقة استقرت بساو باولو بأوائل القرن التاسع عشر. خلينا سوا نتعرف هالشخصية المميزة. Mr. Basilio Jafet, thank you for your warm welcoming here in the Jafet Palace.
It's my pleasure.
It's an honor to be. Thank you. It's an honor to be with you, and thank you for the time you are giving us.
You are very welcome. Coming from so far away.
Thank you. Thank you. You are the fourth generation of the famous Jafet family who
That's
immigrated in the 19th century.
Yeah, exactly.
From Dur el Shwer.
Yes, we came from Dur el Shwer in 1887, 126 years ago. Long time.
It's a long time. I would like to know about this story, this interesting story about your great-great-grandfather who came, Naim Jafet, to Brazil, knowing that you were born here in Sao Paulo in 1957.
That's right. Naim Jafet was my great-grandfather, and he was a professor of the American University in Beirut. Mm-hmm. But as many other people at that time, he wanted to go to new places, to have new opportunities. And after some years, they decided to go to Brazil. When I mean they, I'm talking about he and his brothers. He had 4 brothers and 1 sister. And the 6 of them came to Brazil. And perhaps that happened because some years before, in the 1870s, specifically 1872, our emperor, Peter II, went to Lebanon. The Brazilian emperor went to Lebanon, and he went to Beirut and even to Dur el Shwer, where they lived. And he taught on a class, and Nami Jafet, my great-grandfather, was there. And he was overwhelmed. He loved what he heard about.
He was fascinated by Brazil.
He was fascinated about Brazil. And he heard about the beauties of this strange country so far away. And he had this dream. And some years after that, he decided to go. Mm-hmm. And he left with his brothers. The 6 of them came here. They started in 1887. And after a few years in the commerce, they decided to come. They used to be in the commerce. They sold textiles. And after some years, they opened their company, Jafet Brothers. That happened in 1898.
Mm-hmm. Very long time ago.
Very long time ago. Yeah. So the Jafet group started this way.
Yeah. And today, you are a very well-known family because you did great achievements in Sao Paulo. I know that the Jafet group was one of the most important holdings in Sao Paulo, yes. And you really participated in the economical development of Sao Paulo and all Brazil, as you have established a bank and many constructions and many other things that I won't say now because we're going to speak about your grandmother, she's a very well-known and great lady also. That's here, right. Famous lady in Sao Paulo.
You're quite well informed about the family.
Yes, I am, because your story is fascinating. I was reading it, and it is really an honor to be here with you. Tell us more about this group, who was, number 1 in the 50s, and what happened later, knowing that you are today the director of the Jafet group.
Yes, they started doing business in the textiles. They opened some plants. But after a few decades in the textile business, they decided to go to new horizons. And they started a shipping company and mining iron ore. And besides that, they opened some steel plants. And it happened very fast. In the 40s and 50s was one of the biggest groups in our country, in Brazil, one of the most important. And I can probably say that we contributed a lot to the Brazilian development, the industrial development of our country. And after some years, the old guys from the family, the first and at this time, the second generation, they decided to finish this steel plants, the steel business, which is very hard here in Brazil. After some years, they closed the textile plants as well. But nowadays, we are still very strong in iron ore mining and real estate business.
You are into real estate.
Yes.
And it's a good field here. It's flourishing as a business.
Yes, it is flourishing. Brazil is one of the most well-considered countries in the world to make real estate business in the last decade. Brazil is a nice country to do real estate. We have nice opportunities here. There are many foreign investors, and our group is still doing well in this business. We are now in the third and fourth generation, and we hope to go on still for a long time.
Of course, I'm sure you will.
Thank you.
Let us go back to your childhood.
Okay.
What are the best memories you have from your childhood? And I know you have a younger brother.
Yes.
And did you fight? Did you used to fight together, or were you friends? Tell us more about it.
We were only two brothers, but we had a huge family. Mm-hmm. In fact, nowadays we are about 600 descendants from the 6 brothers.
Oh, Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, that's right. And every 5 years we gather in a huge party at Mount Lebanon Club, which is our club. And in this lunch, we love to find and to meet our cousins, everybody we see so little because of this hectic life we live. But so we were used to live in this big family with all the cousins, etc. And as we lived together in our neighborhood, it is called Ipiranga in Portuguese, where the old homes were. We had a very happy childhood, so different from nowadays, because at that time, of course, we didn't have games, electronic games, and etc. It was
better, I think.
I don't know if it was better. It was
maybe playing outside, having, being close to nature. I think it's important.
We were closer to nature. Yeah. It was important.
Yeah. And how was your relationship to your parents, your mother, your father? Were you close to them? And did your father speak about Lebanon a bit, knowing that they didn't speak Arabic?
No, unhappily they did not speak Arabic. Both my father and mother were descendants from Lebanese people, but they didn't speak at home. So unhappily, I cannot speak any Arabic. Mm-hmm. Perhaps I can pick up 1 or 2 words, but not much more than that. We were very close because we Lebanese, we are very close. We are very united when we talk about family. Yeah, and ours was not exception to this rule.
Yeah. And then you went to Sao Paulo University.
Yes, University of Sao Paulo.
You are a holder of a PhD in civil engineering.
Civil engineering, that's right.
Why did you choose this field?
I don't know.
Did you like it?
Even when I was a small child, I thought about engineering. Mm-hmm. And I loved college. And afterwards, all my career I dedicated to construction, to engineering.
Yeah, and this is
and I like what I do.
Yes, of course. You believe that if we don't have passion for what we do, we will not succeed.
Absolutely. If your soul is not there, you will not succeed.
Of course.
ترأس بازيليو جافت الشركة العالمية فيابشي وحقق الكثير من الإنجازات، ولكن كان عنده وقت أيضاً إنه يبني عائلة. إذا بدكم تعرفوا أكثر عن الموضوع تابعونا بعد البريك.
I would like to speak about your personal career now. Mr.
Okay.
Basilio Jafet, you are the president of a multinational organization, FIABCI. I would like you to tell us more about this organization and what are your responsibilities as a president.
Okay. FIABCI means La Fédération Internationale de Professions Immobilières in French. It was an organization created after the Second World War in Europe with headquarters in Paris, France, to try and reorganize the continent that was absolutely destroyed at that time. It was very successful, and nowadays it's spread within more than 60 countries. And it's one of the very few organizations, private organizations, that have a chair in the United Nations.
Interesting.
In New York, yes, in the Habitat Committee. And it has chapters in each of these countries. And I'm nowadays the president of the Brazilian chapter. Its goal is to promote knowledge and to promote networking, which is so important nowadays. So we can always see and learn what's the state of the art when we talk about the real estate business, and spread the good practices around the world. And I know that Lebanon participates in a chapter that is called the Middle East chapter.
And it's you find it easy to deal with this position, or do you meet some difficulties?
No, there are not big difficulties, but it takes a lot of time and energy. But I love it.
As we already said, you are the director of the Jafet Group. What are you in charge of?
It's a great group, and I'm proud to say we are still, after more than 1 century, 100% family-owned. We are now some 40 cousins from the 3rd and 4th generation of the family, and many of us work here. Our president is cousin Flavio Jafet, which is in charge of everything. But as I told before, we concentrate nowadays in real estate business and iron ore business as well.
And is it easy to work with family, or do you find some difficulties, especially that you have to be professional with people that you really love?
It's different. As you said, on one side you have to be professional, but on the other side you have to be a peacemaker, because there are different people, there are different interests, and you have to deal with everything. But ours is a great family. Our cousins are great, they are clever, they understand things very well, so it's not easy to do everything we have to do here.
It's beautiful to hear such things, because nowadays it is very difficult to succeed in family businesses, especially that even two brothers can fight.
That's right. It's not easy to reach the 4th generation in a family business. If you see in the whole world, there are not many examples that we can follow and see that there are still success after 100 or 150 years. And
I was wondering that maybe the fact of being a Jafet helped you reaching all these positions, especially in FIABCI and...
No, not at all. It makes no difference, because when you contribute in these organizations, it's because of you, not because of your surname. This is what I noticed in Brazil. It's not like in Lebanon.
Okay. Your grandmother, Violetta Jafet, who is nearly 106 years old today, is a Lebanese icon in Sao Paulo. She has achieved many, many great projects, such as establishing the hospital, the Syrio-Lebanese hospital in 1923 with her mother. And today it is one of the most important hospitals in Latin America. Tell us more about this great, great, great lady.
That's right. She's an amazing lady, and she's an icon not only in the Lebanese collectivity here in Brazil, but everybody knows her. She's the last person alive from our 2nd generation. She's Brazilian. She was born here almost 106 years ago, And she's still very good. She still talks to us. She gives us examples of her life. She tells stories. And as you said, her main achievement was the development of our Syrian-Lebanese hospital, which is one of the most important we have in Latin America. In fact, it was created in the 1920s by some Lebanese descendant families, and the leader was my great-grandmother, Asmaa, Jafet. It was her mother. And after her death, Violeta, my grandmother, she succeeded her, and she was president of the hospital for 50 years, from when she was 49 until she was 99 years old. When she was 99, she decided, okay, we have to have new blood here. It's enough, half a century is enough. And then we had elections and we had other presidents.
I would have loved to meet her, but I know that she's a bit sick today.
Yes.
All my regards, she's our pride as women. And I think it's very rare to find such women these days.
She's really incredible. She's a very remarkable woman. And I always tell my children that they are quite blessed because they had the opportunity to live and to hear what she's always told them. And there are some lessons that are quite amazing. As for example, one of her says, she says, one has to have 3 qualities in life to be happy. One have to love, one have to forgive, one have to forget.
Beautiful.
Yes.
She's so wise.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
ترأس بازيليو جافت الشركة العالمية فيابشي وحقق الكثير من الإنجازات، ولكن كان عنده وقت أيضاً إنه يبني عائلة. إذا بدكم تعرفوا أكثر عن الموضوع تابعونا بعد البريك.
I would love to talk about your family now. You were married twice. What does love mean to you?
Of course, it means a lot. I believe a lot in love. And I can prove that because when I finished my first marriage, I looked for my old girlfriend from when I was a teenager, and I found her and I married her. And I've been married to her for 21 years.
Now, let us talk about a bit this interesting story.
Yes, it is.
How did you find her?
I can tell you that it was not easy at that time, but after some research, I was able to find her, and we just talked, and when we talked, it took about 5 or 10 minutes to realize that we should get married.
So you never stopped loving her?
I guess not.
She was married too?
At that time, she had ended her marriage as well. So we were both single at that time.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's like a movie.
Like a movie, that's right.
Okay, and let's talk about your children. You're a father of a boy and a girl.
That's right.
They are 25 and 26 years
Perfect.
old. Yeah. What did you feel when you were father for the first time?
It's a feeling that cannot be easily described, but it kind of fulfilled everything inside me. And the joy is immense. And immediately we kind of feel the lot of love and responsibility and the desire to make them happy and to make them have a happy life.
Yeah, indeed. And are you close to them? Do you listen
Very
to
close.
them? Are you like a friend?
Not a friend, a father.
A father, but a friendly father, I mean.
Okay, a friendly father. Okay, deal.
Yes, I understand. I'm a parent too. We cannot be friends.
But my daughter is 26 nowadays. She lives in California. She's doing an MBA in Berkeley University. She's married. She got married this year. It was a great joy for me to take her to her groom, and I hope they have a very happy life together. It's a happy marriage. And my son, he's 25. He lives with me here in São Paulo, and he's a civil engineer.
Just like his father.
That's right. And he works in construction, but not here in the group.
Not in the group.
No, not at all.
By his own.
By his own, that's right.
Talking about weddings, I would like to know how it happens here in Brazil. Is it similar to the big wedding celebrations we do in Lebanon?
Please take into account that we are Lebanese descendants. Of course, we love to
You like
party.
it.
Big parties. The wedding is the biggest of all. So we do very nice celebrations.
Yeah, and especially that Brazilians like to dance and they are happy people.
Yes, we are happy people.
Yes.
We love celebrating. So we have the Lebanese costumes, the habits, and the Brazilian ones.
Yes. I would love to be there for a wedding party to see how it happens here. It should be fun.
Right.
What does family means to you?
Everything. Everything is about family. And of course, the fact that I work in the family group helps a lot, but it's the most important thing. Otherwise, what we would be doing everything we do for.
Yeah, it's beautiful, really.
بازيليو جافت متزوج وعنده ولدين بجرب يربيهم على القيم والمبادئ اللي هو ربى عليها. تتعرفوا أكثر عن علاقته بلبنان واللبنانيين خليكم معنا من بعد البريك.
I would like to talk about Lebanon a bit, your relationship to Lebanon. I know that you visited Beirut twice.
That's right.
The first time around 2005 and
Yes.
the last time in 2010.
Exactly.
What did you feel the first time you discovered your origins?
When I arrived in Lebanon for the first time, it was a strange feeling because finally, after all these years, I met my origins. And it was very important for me because I understood how important it is to see where do you come from, where do your habits, your culture, your values, your ethics come from. And for the first time it happened, so it was real important for me. When I went to Dur el-Shweir, the village, the small town where a family lived in the 19th century, it was quite a feeling. When I saw in the central square the statue of my great-grandfather,
Naim
Jafet,
and
that's
this
right.
picture behind me is him.
Yes,
it's a
that's right.
painting.
It's a painting.
Yeah.
It's a painting from him. It was quite a feeling because it was in the very point where they started.
The house is still there, or they
The house where they lived is still there.
Still there, and there is some of the Jafet family still there.
No
more.
No, there are no more Jafets in Lebanon.
I'm sad.
Yes, so am I. So am I.
600
Indeed.
here, not even one there.
That's right.
And you visited Dur el-Shweir again in 2010?
Of course I did. It's quite important. And this second time I have some cousins with me, and we all went there.
Yeah, and you were warmly welcomed.
Of course,
like
always.
Usual.
By the mayor, by the people from there. It was quite good. We really feel at home in Lebanon.
It's magical. It's quite magical.
Yes, and the famous Lebanese hospitality still works. And we Brazilians, we talked about, we love to party, etc. But in Lebanon, the hospitality is something different.
Yes.
Unique.
Yes, it is.
And I'm proud. I'm very, very proud of being of Lebanese descendants.
Talking about being proud of your Lebanese descent, don't you think about investing in Lebanon, maybe buying some land, building a house? I don't know.
Why not? Perhaps it will happen in the future. There are wonderful opportunities over there as well.
Maybe you're waiting till the situation gets better?
We're used to difficult situations in Brazil as well. So
Right.
it's nothing
Yes.
new for us.
You are right. You have here some
Every
problems.
country has its own challenges.
You're right. Beautiful to hear that. Yeah. Maybe you would like to say a last word to all the Lebanese who are watching us tonight in Lebanon and all around the world?
Here in Brazil, we are very proud to say that we number 8 million Lebanese descendants. So we have more Lebanese descendants here than Lebanese in Lebanon. And it's quite a nice community. We get along very well. We have our club, we have our hospital. And on the other hand, we are quite integrated to the Brazilian community in general. And this is very good. It's a very peaceful country. We will work together. We love to be together with everybody. And this is a very, very important achievement that every country should pursue in order to have better lives, in order to raise our families, in order to have a happy life.
Indeed. This is what we have to learn from you in Lebanon.
No, not from me. Perhaps from Brazil, from many other countries. But Lebanon is fantastic. I love this country.
We hope to see you there soon.
Of course, for
and not
sure.
just for a short visit.
Oh, for sure.
We need people like you, like the 600 Jafet here.
That's right. Many of them have visited
Lebanon.
Lebanon, that's right.
Mr. Basilio Jafet, thank you very much for this lovely and interesting interview. It was a great pleasure and honor to be here today.
It was my pleasure, my honor to talk to you and to all the Lebanese in Lebanon. And it's very good always to be close to our origins. This is very important.
Indeed. Thank you again.
Thank you.
تعرفنا اليوم مع بازيليو جافت وهو دكتور بالهندسة المعمارية، كما بيترأس من أهم شركات العقارات العالمية، وتعلمنا منه أنه العائلة هي أساس كل نجاح. إذا بدكم تعرفوا أكثر عن هالحلقة أو عن بازيليو جافت ما تنسوا تتابعونا على مواقع التواصل الاجتماعي. وما تنسوا تحضرونا الأسبوع القادم بنفس الوقت تكتشفوا اسم جديد من أسماء من التاريخ.